Here we have the cube. The first step that we took in this project was building the cube itself. The way we did it was we created a template on a piece of wood, which we don't have here, drilled holes for the LEDs to sit in, and we soldered a layer by layer. So there were 5 layers, and what we did was each of the cathodes of the LEDs were connected on this plane. So it was basically like a square with rows going down with the cathodes connected. And then we connected the anodes with the columns, as you can see up here. So that's basically how we're powering the cube. Alright, so here we have the circuit written out. So basically we have 5 3 to 8 decoders, and how it works is we have 2 digital outputs going to the first decoder with that go into the 2 inputs of the decoder. The third input of that decoder is grounded because we don't need it. So using those 2 inputs, there's 4 outputs which go to each of the other 4 decoders. Now these 4 decoders, they control the columns or the anodes of the LED cube. So each of these 4 decoders have 3 inputs going into them that are wired in series. Based on those 3 inputs, each of them have up to 8 outputs, and since there's 25 columns, we need 25 outputs, so we have 8, 8, 8, and then 1 on the 4th one. Now, the purpose of the first decoder here was to select one of the other 4 decoders. Because they are wired in series, if we have digital output going to each of the 4 because it's in series, then there would be 4 columns lighting up at once, but we only want 1, so that's what that decoder, the first decoder, is for. It only picks one of the other 4 decoders, and therefore it only sends power to one of the columns. So once the power goes into the columns, into an LED, we have 5 transistors which control which of the 25, or which of the 5 LEDs in that column, for which of those 5 the circuit's completed. So the way transistors work, they're like an electronic gatekeeper basically. So when you send power to the base of the transistor, it completes the circuit, or lets power flow through. So since the 5 transistors are connected to the base of the LED cube, what is happening is we send power to a column using the decoders, and then since the 5 transistors are connected to each of the 5 levels of the cube, or the cathodes, we complete the circuit for one of the levels, therefore selecting only one LED at a certain time. So as of right now, we're having some hardware issues, so everything isn't working perfectly as planned. But we can show you that part of the circuit works. Right now we're having trouble with the decoders, where it seems like the power isn't going all the way through. We've done a bunch of tests where we see if there's power going through the circuit or not. But we know for sure that the transistor part works, where if we send power into a column, as you can see, it alternates which level is being lit up. So we know for sure that the transistor part works. We also know that all of the wires are working, because we can go through and we can give power to a different column and it works just fine. As you can see here, there's another one down at the bottom, another one. But yeah, basically right now the only issue we're having is with figuring out why the decoders are not working.